Greetings, everybody. This is Serpentine451, and welcome back to part 3 of Join the Pack Seitan Academy Manga to Anime. Now, the primary focus of this comparison is episode 3 of the anime and chapters 12 and 13 of the manga. Now, they skipped quite a bit of chapters to get to this particular episode, since this is the introduction of the naked Morat female student council president, Miko, or Mako, I think is her name, if I remember correctly, and the introduction of King and Shiho, the lion and Impala, respectively, starting their budding relationship. So, the primary focus of the episode is an adaptation of chapter 13 of the manga, where the student council president, like I mentioned before, is a naked mole rat, and she does not like interspecies fraternization. So, in order to keep the ecosystem of the school going as usual, she will abolish the cooking club, because she's under the impression that it's an interspecies harem. Which, if some of you sick fucks think it is, I mean, for a show that will be forthcoming that I've said for almost years now, it may have a place on the list, but that's not entirely the case. You may think it is, but in my honest opinion, it does not. So, there's that. But anyway, we also have and it slightly changes here and there because they combined both chapters and condensed them into one episode here. And we have a little bit of scenes that were introduced in the anime that weren't in the manga, to make things typically fleshed out a little bit more. We still have the scenes of Hitomi and Shin at one point when King is introduced in the cooking club alone together, and Rinka licking them as a sign of bringing them in, which will bring them into the pack. Well, saying hello, so to speak. Then we did not get to see her initiating Miyabi and Yukari into the pack, but we get to see the licking scenes in this, which kind of loses its impact, so to speak. I shouldn't say impact, but it just loses that cohesion, because there's the implication that she licked them to initiate them into the pack, which she's yet to done for Karumi since she's the shadow member of the cooking club. And a lot of the scenes that were in chapter 13 and 12 were in this episode, so it was a great adaptation of these two particular chapters, with the next episode apparently becoming a first of a two-parter or a multi-parter, where we're introduced to Rinka's sister, which was an earlier chapter in the manga. I think that was chapter 6. So, I'm not sure how many chapters that they'll be adapting for that particular one, well, that particular episode, but I will say that if they do adapt the school festival, hopefully it'd be, the sports festival, I hope they do, because it gives a lot of credence to these characters, and they're all enjoyable in those particular chapters, but we also need to bring in Mei the panda in some way. So if they do sort of an adaptation like this here for those particular plot points in the first few chapters, or the first 20 or so chapters, then that wouldn't be a bad thing, in all honesty. So I'm okay with that. But anyway, this has been Serpentine451 doing another compare and contrast with less differences and more of straight up adaptations. But I think that's kind of a good thing. The first episode did things differently. The second episode changed up some orders, and this was actually a perfect blend of two chapters that work seamlessly together. Well, since one came after the other. And combining them into one episode of the anime, that's perfectly fine. So, join me next time when I tackle episode 4 and at least chapter 6 of the manga. So, I'll catch you guys next time.